The FBI to knock down media reports about contacts during the presidential campaign between Donald Trump's associates and Russians known to U.S. intelligence. Pamela Brown and Evan Perez broke this story along with Jim Sciutto, Shimon Prokopez, and Manu Raju. Pamela and Evan are out front. And Pamela, let me start with you. What are you learning tonight?
Well, Aaron, CNN is told that the FBI rejected a recent White House request to publicly knock down media reports about communications during the 2016 presidential campaign between Donald Trump's associates and Russians known to U.S. intelligence. Multiple U.S. officials telling CNN that the White House sought the help of the Bureau and other agencies investigating the Russian matter to say that the reports were wrong and that there had been no contacts whatsoever. You'll recall that CNN and the New York Times first reported that just over a week ago, the reports about these contacts that were made during the campaign. And Aaron, so far, the White House has not commented.
Yeah, and this was a very significant report. I mean, Evan, this is not a typical request. I mean, it's pretty stunning when you hear it on the face of it. How did it start?
Well, Aaron, a U.S. law enforcement official tells us that this began with the FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe and White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus on the sidelines of a separate White House meeting on the day after those stories were published. A White House official says that McCabe told Priebus that the New York Times story vastly overstated what the FBI knows about the contacts. The White House official says that Priebus later reached out again to McCabe and to the FBI Director James Comey, asking for the FBI to at least talk to reporters on background to dispute the stories. But a law enforcement official says that McCabe didn't discuss aspects of the case, but we don't know exactly what McCabe told Priebus. And I should add that the FBI has declined to comment on the story.
So, Pamela, the White House Chief of Staff, Reince Priebus, I've been talking about him. He denies the story. This is what he said on Fox News Sunday earlier this week.
The New York Times last week put out an article with no direct sources that said that the Trump campaign had constant contacts with Russian spies. Basically, some treasonous type accusations. We have now all kinds of people looking into this. I can assure you, and I've been approved to say this, that the top levels of the intelligence community have assured me that that story is not only inaccurate, but it's grossly overstated, and it was wrong, and there's nothing to it.
So, Pamela, is the investigation still going on?
It is going on, and the FBI's counterintelligence division, also several members of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees, tell CNN that Congress is still investigating those alleged contacts. That has begun, and they are starting to collect documents and records as well, Aaron. Which
is obviously important. That's what's going to determine what really happened here and answer all the questions so many have. Evan, this is not a typical back and forth, though, between a White House and the FBI. There may be disagreements, but this is not how it usually plays out, right?
That's right, Aaron. The communication between the White House and the FBI is unusual because of a decade-old restriction on such contacts. Now, the request from the White House is technically a violation of these procedures that were meant to limit communications with the FBI on pending investigations. Now, the Trump administration's efforts to press Comey to run contrary to Justice Department procedure memos that were issued in 2007 and 2009 that limit direct communications on pending investigations between the White House and the FBI. And the FBI Director Comey rejected the request that came from the White House, according to the sources we talked to, because the alleged communications are still the subject of an ongoing investigation, Aaron.
All right. Thank you.